It's okay to prioritize yourself. In fact, it's crucial. You'll not only improve your mental, emotional, and spiritual health, but you'll also set that foundation for healthier relationships. What is going on? My name is Debonair and welcome to my channel. Before we dive into today's topic, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and hit that bell notification to stay updated on when I post on my latest content. Let's make one thing clear. Self-care is essential, not selfish. And taking the time to indulge it can truly nourish your spirit. In today's video, I'm excited to share some of my favorite self-care practices and tips so you can experience the true benefits of prioritizing yourself. For the longest time, I was a yes man, a people pleaser, if you will. I was afraid to speak up because I was constantly worried about hurting other people's feelings. Confrontation was something I avoided at all costs. But over time, this approach took a serious toll on me, both physically and emotionally. I became drained, and it wasn't until much later that I realized that I was doing more harm to myself than good. My perception of the world was skewed. I was constantly seeking answers externally rather than trusting myself. I remember a particular day when I was completely drained both physically and emotionally. It was in that moment of exhaustion that I realized that something had to change. I made a promise to myself to prioritize my well-being, and that decision has transformed my life in ways I could never imagine. When I began my healing journey 4 years ago, a significant part of it was learning to reclaim my power and identify what that truly looks like. Through various tools and techniques, I was able to discover areas where I was falling short and worked on them. This process not only allowed me to reclaim my power, but it also allowed me to step into my highest potential. The biggest lesson that I've learned is that true power comes from within. When I stopped looking for external validation and started trusting myself, everything changed. As you watch this video, I encourage you to think about your own self-care rituals. Are there areas in your life where you're saying yes when you really need to be saying no? Take a moment to reflect on this and consider if this is an adjustment that needs to be made within your reality in order for you to continuously show up for yourself. Self-care isn't about pampering yourself. It's about creating boundaries, honoring yourself, honoring your needs, and stepping into that power that comes from knowing and loving yourself. I hope that by sharing my journey, you'll feel inspired to take the first steps toward prioritizing your own well-being and discover the incredible power that lies within you. For the majority of society, self-care is often viewed as selfish, but in reality, it's a vital part of maintaining your mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. I know this firsthand because I've been a victim of narcissistic abuse. It wasn't until I began practicing self-care that I realized that I was experiencing narcissistic abuse in my life on a consistent basis. I was so caught up in people-pleasing and putting others ahead of myself that I didn't recognize the toll it was taking on me. I was helping others succeed while I was neglecting to give myself that same energy and care. Back then, I wasn't aware of the abuse I was enduring. I thought that the way I was operating in the world was healthy, but in reality, I didn't have boundaries and wasn't even aware of what boundaries look like. It wasn't until I started discovering that not only is it okay to put yourself first, but it's also the most important thing that you can do to honor yourself. With that, my mindset began to just shift. When I began to show up for myself, it was challenging at first. I was essentially learning to put my needs ahead of others, and establishing those boundaries definitely shifted the relationships in my life. But it was necessary. I realized that self-care isn't selfish, it's an essential act of self-preservation. By putting up those boundaries, I started to reclaim my power and began to thrive in ways I hadn't before. If you ever struggled with people-pleasing or putting others before yourself, I encourage you to take a step back and evaluate how it's affecting your well-being. It's okay to prioritize yourself. In fact, it's crucial. When you start honoring yourself and your own needs, you'll not only improve your mental, emotional, and spiritual health, but you'll also set that foundation for healthier relationships. Self-care is often misunderstood as selfish, but in reality, it's an essential part of maintaining your mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. My journey into self-care began as a response to the narcissistic abuse I endured, a reality I didn't fully grasp until I started focusing on myself. Like many, I fell into the trap of people-pleasing, constantly putting others ahead of myself. I thought I was doing the right thing by helping others succeed, but in truth, I was just draining myself, giving away all of my energy without replenishing it. At that time, I wasn't even aware that I was being abused. I believed that my way of operating in the world was healthy. I didn't have boundaries. I wasn't even sure what boundaries look like. The turning point came when I discovered that not only is it okay to put yourself first, but it's also the most powerful act of self-respect you can offer yourself. This realization completely transformed my mindset. I started to show up for myself, and although it was difficult in the beginning, especially as it shifted many of my relationships in my life, it was absolutely necessary. Setting boundaries was just a change. It was a reclamation of my power. With that being said, I want to emphasize that self-care isn't selfish. It's an essential act of self-preservation. The moment I began to prioritize myself, I noticed profound changes not only in my own well-being, but also in the quality of my relationships. By putting those boundaries up, I was able to thrive in ways I never thought possible. If you find yourself constantly putting others before your own needs, I urge you to reflect on how that's impacting your life. It is okay to prioritize yourself. In fact, it's crucial. When you start honoring your own needs, you'll not only protect your mental health and emotional and spiritual health, but you're also creating space for healthier and more balanced relationships. Just remember that the most important relationship that you'll ever have is with yourself. How you treat and take care of your internal self is a direct reflection of the work you put into it. What you expect your external world to look like depends on how well you nurture your inner self. One of the most important purposes in an individual's journey is to find self-care rituals that allow them to connect, raise their vibration, and enhance their energy. And to discover these rituals, you must embark on your own journey. For me, this journey led to uncovering certain rituals that resonated deeply with me. I'll give you a perfect example: meditations. Meditation is crucial. It's the first thing that I do upon grand rising, because it's in that moment that I am showing up for myself before I give myself out to my external reality. It has become a crucial part of my daily routine. I believe that this is where the perception of selfishness from the external world comes into play. Because to truly connect with ourselves, we often have to spend a lot of time in isolation. And this isolation is essential for uncovering the rituals that work best for us. It allows us to spend time with ourselves, free from external noise that could cloud our outside judgment. Last year, I spent all of 2023 in isolation. It turned out to be one of the most best experiences I could have ever given myself. This time alone allowed me to fine-tune this instrument, which I call my vessel. And now I'm in a space where I not only understand these rituals that work best for me, but I also have a clear understanding of the boundaries I need to maintain my personal practices. Isolation isn't about shutting the world out. It's about simply just tuning into yourself, discovering what elevates your energy and enhances your spirit. And by taking that time to nurture your inner self, you can create a foundation for a more balanced and fulfilling external reality. This is where the true power and transformation begin. As we've explored today, self-care isn't just a trendy buzzword. It's vital practice that nourishes your mind, body, and spirit. It's about reclaiming your power, setting boundaries, and truly understanding that rituals help elevate your energy. My journey has shown me that when we take time to take care of our internal selves, it reflects every aspect of our external reality. The truth is, self-care isn't selfish. It's the most profound way to honor yourself and step into your highest potential. Before I wrap up, I want to give a special shout out to today's sponsor, Aura.io. If you're looking to elevate your self-care routine, Aura.io is the perfect tool. Aura offers personalized meditation, sleep, and wellness experiences tailored to your unique needs. Whether you're just starting your journey or looking to deepen your practice, Aura can help you connect with yourself on a deeper level and raise your vibration. I'm super excited to offer an exclusive access to Aura.io for 7 days using my code. After your trial, you'll receive 25% off your subscription. I'll put the link down below so you can easily start your journey with Aura. Now, I want to hear from you. What self-care practices resonate with you, and how do you plan on incorporating them in your daily routine? Drop me a comment below and let's start the conversation. And if you found value in today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might need a reminder to prioritize themselves. Remember, the journey to self-discovery and healing starts with that first step, choosing to show up for yourself. Thank you so much for being here with me today, and take care of yourselves. Until next time, stay inspired, stay curious, stay creative, and happy healing. Peace.